Brought to you by...
We all dream of owning our first home. The opportunity to start fresh, leave the hardships and traumas of our past behind, and build something new for ourselves. However, some of us don't get to move on so easily. Sometimes the place we choose to call home comes with a darkness buried deep within its walls. Hello friends, and welcome back to ETF. This farmhouse has a gruesome past, including a murder-suicide that occurred years earlier. As Sarah, who is battling postpartum depression, becomes increasingly isolated in the house, she starts to experience disturbing visions and eerie occurrences. Her mental state deteriorates, raising questions about whether the haunting is supernatural or a manifestation of her inner struggles. Alex, her supportive but overburdened husband, struggles to help her while managing their new life. Michael Shannon plays their enigmatic neighbor, who may hold clues to the house's history. The only reason I sat down to watch this one in the first place was the casting of Emma Roberts and John Gallagher Jr., two actors I have grown fond of throughout their careers. Emma capturing my heart in The Blackcoat's Daughter and Scream 4, and John flooring me with his portrayal of Jim Harper in The Newsroom, and switching gears to become the killer in Mike Flanagan's Hush. However, I knew there was something more to this one when Michael fucking Shannon suddenly stepped into the scene only a few minutes in. The film was directed by Spencer Squire in his first feature film debut. The script aimed to blend psychological horror with themes of family and mental health, particularly postpartum depression. The filmmakers sought to create a layered narrative that balanced emotional depth with suspense, distinguishing it from more traditional haunted house films. However, they also leaned on familiar horror tropes to anchor the story in the genre. As a first-time director, Squire faced the challenge of balancing the psychological and the supernatural elements of the story. While the film aimed for emotional resonance, some have felt that the blending of the genres lacked cohesion. Principal photography took place in North Carolina, which provided a rural and isolated setting essential to the story's atmosphere. The farmhouse used in the film was a crucial element, chosen for its eerie and dilapidated appearance, which amplified the feeling of isolation. The production team focused on creating a sense of unease through natural lighting, muted color palettes, and minimalist set design to reflect Sarah's mental state. The film's visual style envelops us into a dry wash of flat, warm colors, creating an inviting atmosphere despite very clear warning signs right from the rip that this place is not the type of home that a fresh-faced young family wants to call their own. The isolated setting and eerie farmhouse create a foreboding backdrop for the unfolding story, although it is a bit cliché for the genre. It's made clear early on that our titular protagonist couple has gone through something traumatic in the years before the events of the film, though we don't know right away what it is. We later learn that it stems from the wife's postpartum depression, and that she has trouble connecting with her child, which is putting a lot of strain on her. The film plays well with utilizing this mental strain that she is going through, to emphasize the elements of the haunting, at least bringing into question her sanity from the very beginning. This adds a layer to the narrative, leaving us to wonder if what we are seeing is real, or if it's all just in her mind. However, this also forces the film into following a very basic trope of our protagonist being the only person experiencing the hauntings for the duration of the film. The sound design builds effectively throughout many sequences, utilizing the baby's crying to build the manic nature of Sarah's psychosis into ramping up swells of score, which flows rhythmically into the song of the music box. The supernatural elements are interwoven with Sarah's mental health, creating ambiguity about the nature of the horrors she's experiencing. The film also delves into the burden of guilt, unresolved trauma, and the fragility of familial bonds in the face of overwhelming stress. This focus on postpartum gives the film a unique psychological angle compared to more traditional haunted house narratives. Additionally, one of the core themes that the film hangs on, this incestuous, abusive backstory of the house's previous owners, it's a much darker note than we often find in horror films of this nature, which in a way I suppose gives it a refreshing edge. Personally, I didn't find this one all that engaging. Despite prominent star power and a narrative that clearly had the work put into it to elevate its impact on the audience, for me it just felt like it was lacking somehow. Maybe it was just the fact that I've seen many films like this before. I will say that for an average viewer, this one might be just what you're looking for on a quiet night in, when you just want to watch something spooky. Well friends, that's gonna be all for now. If you like this video, as always, I urge you to go check this one out for yourself. It is available on Netflix, and if there is a physical release, I'll link it down below. If you like what we're doing here, please give this video a like, subscribe for more content, and if you really want to help support the channel, please come check us out on Patreon. Until next time, stay safe. Maybe do all of your research before buying your first home. And as always, thanks for watching.